Welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show, brought to you by First Bank, Wilkinson, Chevy, Cadillac, Buick, GMC, and Zaxby's Friends, Family, Flavor. With your host, Chris Delambert, only on the NFHS Network, brought to you by New Image Media.
Welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. I'm Chris Delambert. We got three schools with us tonight. Lee County, Southern League, Union Pines will all be here. We'll be giving away some hardware, talking some football. But before we do that, as always, we open the show with my good friend Hector from Zaxby's, the Regional Marketing Director. How are you, sir?
Oh, it's chilly. The fall weather is here finally. So, I think one of my bosses told me, like, wow, the weather is here. Time to eat some warm, delicious Zaxby's. I'm like, okay, man, I get it. I'll promote that. I'm excited that the weather's here. We're excited too. Chicken's always great when it's hot. So
yeah, man, you're a stylish guy. You dress in layers, so I know you're a fall guy.
Oh yeah. I'm excited to wear sweaters again. Leather jackets, whatever I can get my hands on that makes me look nicer, I guess.
All right, so you guys have a trunk or treat function coming up?
Yeah. I actually went by BJ's and actually bought a bunch of how much was it? $200 worth of candy.
Okay.
So we'll see how fast. Last time it went out really fast, so I'm excited to do it.
What are the details for the trunk or treat?
So I believe we're gonna. So it's at the Harley Davidson in Fayetteville on Sycamore Dairy Road. I believe it goes from 10 to 2 o'clock in the morning on
10 to 2 o'clock in the morning.
10 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm
sorry.
At the place, and then you can go there. There'll be other stuff there as well, but most of the businesses will have their trunks out with candy, of course, and bring your kids, have a good time. It's safe. We'll all be sanitized, covered, and if that's your thing.
All right. So the Harley dealership in Fayetteville, is where you guys are going to be rallying with all the other local businesses.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Yeah.
All right, fantastic.
I just haven't figured out what to dress up as.
If you're looking for an event for your kids, that's the one to check out. Any ideas where they can find more information on that?
You can find it on their website. We'll also be promoting on our Facebooks, Instagram. They have one as well. If you look up the Fort Bragg Harley Davidson, they'll have a Facebook and Instagram you can find information on.
Fantastic, man. Thanks as always for all the support you give us. Hopefully people turn out. Hopefully you guys are selling 1 million chicken sandwiches and fingers and tenders and everything else we can come up with. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add, sir?
It's always a double-edged sword for everybody, but it's fall. Chicken's hot. Come and eat it. I'm sure you'll have a great time at one of our stores.
Fantastic. Thank you as always, and we'll take a really, really quick break. We'll be back with Lee County High School and Coach Steve Bordeaux.
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
All right, welcome back. Joined on set by Coach Steve Bordeaux. How are you, sir?
Not too bad. All
right, man. You guys are, this is not a record we're accustomed to seeing from the Yellow Jacket squad. 5-3 now.
No, yeah.
Looking at it, I got to be honest with you. During the telecast, Jerry Chalmers and I were talking about it, and we're like, don't know if the playoffs are locked, blah, blah, blah. I got home, and I will have to tell you that my unofficial opinion is you guys, regardless of what happens next week, I think you're solid. But you guys leaning ahead. 3 losses this year to 4A teams and 3 really, really good 4A teams. And in each one of those 3 games, I think it was interesting that you guys played one half of football where it was about even,
right,
and it was the other half that got you in both those games. In the first one against Glenn, it was
really the third quarter.
Yeah,
third quarter.
Apart from that, it was an even game. Pinecrest, you went into the half in a tight ball game, and man, I tell you what, Richmond got out against you in a hurry, started with a pick 6 off a screen pass, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but I think that people that looked at the scoreboard, people that looked at the box score, probably have the wrong impression about that game, because as it went on, I thought it was more and more obvious to me that it was 2 very evenly matched teams. What they got from production out of the quarterback position and the plays that they made, even when you had them off cycle, and behind the chains, was probably the difference in the game. What's your take on what went down with Richmond?
Yeah, I think really in all three of the games, it really comes down to the teams making big plays, whether it's a big play might not be yardage, but a big play situationally. The teams that beat us have done it. And in those games, we haven't been able to do it as many times as they have. And, talking about this past game, their quarterback had an outstanding game, and that's really what he's done all year. I'm saying he's kind of in situations kind of bailed them out sometimes, and he did it again.
Well, and that having looked, there was a lot of tape accessible to the public. Mm-hmm. We were able to see a little bit more of Kellen Hood than we are with a lot of opposing quarterbacks getting ready for our broadcast. And, his brother Caleb was all-world down there at North Carolina before he went to UNC. And I wouldn't put him in the same classification, but he is the guy that does enough things well enough, and it's so many to prepare for. And we saw it. The thing that impressed me the most about him, I think, to me, was his composure. You guys never seemed to get him rattled. And he made some mistakes, but in the end, made just enough big plays. And on the flip side of that, on offense, I know it's got to be difficult for you to think, man, we could have called it differently. We could have done this. But then when you go back and you look at the tape, they say games come down to 4 or 5 plays, and that game really came down to 4 or 5 plays.
No, definitely so. There's a lot of situations that we go back and watch that are like, we have the play we want.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have the guy we want getting this, and we just got to, whether it's catch the ball, throw a little bit better ball, give a little better protection, all those situations in all 3 levels of our offense, they had to be working together.
Now, speaking of that, anybody, and by the way, that game will be on replay of that game immediately following the show. I would recommend any high school football fan check it out. But you talk about it, and people that watch that tape, even if they just watch it casually, are going to see that there were 3 long balls, 2 of which were overthrown by about that much, and then one that actually was a little bit high but may have been reeled in. You take those 3 and they're touchdowns. But the other part of that, though, and I don't know if you expected this, Richmond came out and played cover 0 all day, every snap. And in addition to those long balls, there were 3 or 4 slants that if they hit, they're gone. There's no safety back there.
Yeah, I think we had a lot of opportunities to make some plays in those situations. And, whether you say it's going to be a touchdown, they're big plays. But kudos to them. They did a good job of making us not be able to complete those things. And they were more successful in those situations.
Yeah, it was pretty apparent. They came out with that defense and decided we're not going to let you have the underneath stuff. And, first pass of the game, I believe, was the screen that was taken back to the house. And it seemed like the defenders were willing to sit and challenge you to get them up over the top and just weren't able quite to get it done. I'm sure you were proud of your guys because we were proud just to be associated with the program to see the guys get up off the ground time and time again because it was like a mash unit out there for a while. Guys coming off, getting dinged up, getting over there, getting a blow, getting right back in. What do you see in terms of lingering effects from a game that physical coming right up into Scotland this weekend?
So I think that's our conference. I'm saying Hope County, Pinecrest, then Richmond, now following with Scotland. And, obviously I think we're a pretty physical team too. That's one thing that Coach Till said before the game, that he was able to go watch us in Pinecrest play in person since we play on a Thursday night. And he said as a fan, it was just a fun game to watch how physical the game was. And I think that's just going to be throughout our conference every game. We had a really good practice today. So I feel like we bounced back, and it's a short bounce back. So hopefully we can keep that rolling.
All right, Scotland, this is a huge game for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you end up making the playoffs, whether Scotland end up making the playoffs, the bottom line is there's only one 3A automatic bid out of this conference, just like there is one automatic 4A bid. It's probably safe to say that the winner of the Scotland-Lee County game is the one that's going to get that nod.
Yeah.
What do they bring to the table? What are you getting ready for?
So they're honestly very, very similar to the last couple of teams we've seen. They're athletic. They have they're good on both fronts, and they're a team that's used to winning and be very competitive in games. So a big game type atmosphere is not going to be something they're not used to. So all those situations are things we got to continue to raise our level to. Playing one half of football, whether it's the first half or second half, won't get it done. The winner of this game, I do feel confident to say, will get a home playoff game. The loser is watching seeding and rankings and hoping. I'm not a fan of hoping for things. If you can control it, we try to control it.
Got another dual threat quarterback you got to prepare for. This one not quite as seasoned, doesn't have necessarily the pedigree that Kellen Hood did. Compare and contrast the two.
I think you hit it there. I'm saying he hadn't played quite as much, but he he probably is more of a thrower that can run, where Kellen is probably more of a runner who can throw. You know what I'm saying? So I think that'd be the difference in the two.
All right, we got your players of the week this week. I think the offensive player of the week was as no-brainer as it's been all year. B.J. Brown had a fantastic day individually. I didn't get a chance to check the final stats, but if my math was right, he was double 100 yards rushing and 100 yards in the return game, returning kicks. That's a pretty impressive feat. He was one of those guys that I really want to put my finger on that got up, because there toward the end of the ball game, I mean, it was obvious. He beaten up, beaten down, but every time he got the ball, found that little extra something and kept fighting. Yeah,
definitely. BJ had a couple of little bursts throughout the game with some big plays, and I think it ended up being around 120, 130 yards on like 17 touches, and then plus the kick return and a couple other decent ones. So he definitely, stat-wise, was the guy that really got it done. But we talk about it every week. I feel like BJ has gotten a little bit better every week. And his starting point was already pretty good, but getting a little bit better every week's a thing we like to see.
All right, and on defense, Ayo, I got to tell you, what we saw Saturday in prime time, getting prime time reps, I think Ayo is indicative of the whole ball club, because we're shuffling through the roster trying to figure out who that just checked in at linebacker. Who is that just checked in on the defensive line? And I think that it was a credit to the program, credit to the work those guys put in, credit to the coaching staff and the kids themselves, how deep you guys were able to go, and you really had to in moments. But I think this young man is indicative of what the future looks like. And you're spoiled with talent, Coach.
Yeah, definitely. Both these guys sophomores. Ayo played his butt off, and really it all comes back from the way he practices. He gets after it in practice every single day. He asks questions. He's locked in. Even if he's not getting a rep, he's asking questions. So, there was no doubt in my mind that he was going to show up and make plays. He did it versus Pinecrest, too. He just got more opportunities this past week.
All right, well, guys, congratulations. Those are your First Bank Players of the Week trophies and a $25 gift card from Zaxby's. Don't spend it all in one place. Anything you guys would like to add?
No, sir.
No? You sure? All right.
We'll probably get to see them a few more times throughout the years, I think.
I imagine so. Next up, we've got your Scholar Athlete of the Week, Eli Garrison, no stranger to the show. Talk about Mr. Garrison.
Yeah, so Eli, obviously as a Scholar Athlete, he's really getting it done in the classroom. Has some big time goals. After high school that I fully believe that's going to make happen. And he's a heck of a football player. He does all the dirty work. Whether it's getting a play and grinding out for 2 or 3 extra yards, whether it's going there making a block that somebody else don't want to make, doing some stuff on special teams. Eli's a guy that will do whatever the team needs him to do. And when Eli talks, everybody listens.
Oh, that's high praise right there. Mr. Garrison, anything you'd like to add? Coach said it all.
Nothing he already said, yeah.
All right, very good. Guys, as you get ready for Scotland, Scotland's a team, Lee County, especially over the last 10 years or so, Lee County's developed quite a reputation statewide. Scotland's one of those teams one of the few teams, especially in this region, whose reputation is even bigger. Does that mean anything to you guys? Do you care anything about anybody that's come before them, or is it just about the guys that line up on Friday?
No, none of that really matters. It's just when it comes down to it, is get on the field and play football.
All right. Very good. So what in particular with this matchup stands out to you guys as you guys watch tape?
I think it comes down to who wants it more. This game matters for both teams. I think we both got everything on the line here. Like Bordeaux said, whoever wins this game has a home game in the playoffs, and whoever doesn't is praying. So I think it's whoever wants it more is going to come out with a win on Friday.
All right. Well, we'll be pulling for you guys. It'll be good to get some home cooking too, I suppose. If you could draw it up, talk about what the home field advantage means to you guys after a couple tough games on the road.
It means a lot because, I feel like we got our crowd behind us and they cheering for us. So,
the atmosphere going to drive you.
Yeah, it's going to push us.
It's going to push you.
Speaking from playing on that 2019 state championship team and having a whole city rally behind you for a game is a feeling unlike any other. So to have that for a playoff would be awesome.
Fantastic. Coach, tell the folks at home how they can get tickets for Friday's affair.
Yeah, so gofan.co.co. Type in Lee County. You can get your tickets there. Roll right through the gate with the little link, and then they're going to do a pink out. So if you got some pink, gear, wear it. If not, throw your favorite jacket gear on and come out and support the team.
All right, big ball game. Friday kicks at 7:30.
7:30.
7:30. We'll be there. Can't wait. Coach, best of luck. Guys, go get them.
Thank you.
Go get them. This is the first you kind of reset, get these steps going, and head right down toward a state championship.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jackets. Our time is done here. We'll bid you guys adieu and say what's up to Southern Lee here in just a moment. You're watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show. I'm Chris. This is Coach. See you on the other side of the break.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford. With the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles. Check out our state-of-the-art service department and collision center, where our team can have you back on the road in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 3335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at WilkinsonCars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Pentair. Empowering people to move water, improve water, enjoy water, so that people can live their best, healthiest lives. Lives with purpose. Lives with enjoyment. Lives that flourish. Lives with hope. Because at Pentair, we're not just about better water. We're about better life. Pentair, bringing water to life, for life.
All right, welcome back to Zaxby's Coaches Show, the second and third coaches. But my favorite of the bunch. How are you, Coach Mike McClure?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. You guys had a wild schedule this weekend. Makeup game because of COVID. You guys played Richmond on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Glad to have that in your rear view.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you had a quick turnaround to that game. Now you had a long break coming into this week, and you guys get Union Pines.
Yeah.
And I think, frankly, with both programs, things on the, in terms of win-loss record haven't gone the way either team would have liked it to.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are staring at a game I'm sure both of y'all want to win in the worst way. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, that is. Like I talked to the guys today, told them today, this is one that we got to have. We got to have this one. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So that's the game plan to come in and try to get this one and, finish on a strong note for the rest of the season.
Very good. So Union Pines, this is a team that's changed their offense almost completely from what we've seen in recent memory. Talk about what they do and what they're going to try to do against you guys.
Well, like I said, we're very similar in terms of offensively trying to find out what works best. And you cut the film on against them, and they come out, and you can tell they just trying to find what works for them against the different teams that they play. I mean, they come out in wing T, they come out in power I, they come out in an empty spread. So defense is one of the hardest games to get prepared for as a defensive coordinator, because it's kind of like, well, how do they plan on attacking us? What do they plan on our weaknesses at? And it's kind of like, all right, well, we'll just come up with a plan that kind of locks in and that take care of everything. So, I think we're similar. We're trying to find our way. They're trying to find their way. They're trying to find out what works for their offensive personnel, and we're trying to do the same offensively, and, they're same defensively. So I think, it'll be a good game.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of similarities in the two defenses that you guys are going to roll out there, especially at the linebacker core. You guys got guys that'll come up and thump you. They play smart. They diagnose. They don't waste too many steps. I think I'd give you guys the edge in the secondary. But, having watched you guys several times and tried to get inside your head, I don't have any idea what you guys are going to come out and do on offense either.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Coach Trousdale is going to say the same thing. Yeah. It's excited to see how this comes out this weekend.
Yeah.
Both teams, like I said, programs with a rich history that this year with everything that's combined, all the variables, I think this is a game that means a lot to both schools. And, I can't lie, Coach. I'm hoping you get them.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add before we give away some hardware?
Nah, just excited to get back at it on a normal Friday schedule.
I hear you.
Other than the Tuesday, kind of throws things off, but everything works together for the good. Able to get the guys 2 days off, 2 extra days off before, coming back at it. They had a different energy, at practice today just because they had a little break. So just excited for Friday.
All right, Coach, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with some hardware. You're watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show. You can put all three of them up there, and I'll stretch this until there's UP in the parking lot, so hopefully they're coming here in a minute.
Zooming through now, huh?
Man.
Lamco Homes. From concept to design, constructed to fit your lifestyle. We use only top quality finishes to make our house your home. Lamco Homes. Our standards are others' options.
All right, welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Coach, your athletes snuck around the corner. Introduce them for us. First, let's start with Offensive Player of the Week.
Offensive Player of the Week. He was actually the Scholar Player of the Week last week and worked his way up into the Offensive Player of the Week this week. Joe Cooner. Tough game like Richmond. It's kind of hard to pick out some positive offensively, but Joe did. He had a big time catch for us on third down to move the sticks and had positive yardage in receiving. So we felt he was deserving of Offensive Player this week. And moving on to defensively, got Jeremiah Freeman. He was able to come down with to make a few tackles and ended up having an interception that game. So that makes his third on the season after making the change from receiver and moving on to playing defensive back. So we felt he was deserving of Defensive Player this weekend. We have for the Scholar this week, we have Billy Bobo Ayers. And Bobo, man, he's one of those guys that he's on time to everything. He shows up to everything. He communicates. And he's a true team player. He's one of those guys that you like to have on your side. And he shows up every day to practice and shows up and cheers his team on and does all the right things in the classroom. So we felt he was deserving of the Scholar tonight.
Very good. Jeremiah, I want to tell you, I don't know if Kellen Hood, I don't know if he's going to play quarterback in college, but he's going to be playing Division I ball somewhere. And no matter what happens, you're going to be able to tell anybody to listen, I got to pick. So don't worry about anything else. Guys, anything you'd like to add as you come into this week against Union Pines? What's the energy like around the program? What's it like?
Energy this week is up because obviously we know we can come out and get a win. And I just feel like defensively, even though they'll come out in a lot of things, our defense is good enough to perform good against anything that they come out in. And I feel like we have more athletes than them also.
I think that I think it's a fair statement. I think you guys are more athletic. It's a team of grinders down there, but I think in terms of guys that get in space. But if I'm going to give you one tip, and I know Coach has already got this in the game plan, figure out where Biggs is at.
Yes, sir.
Because that's the one guy who is, if he gets into space, will get you. He's been doing it for a couple of years now. But we wish you the best of luck down there, guys, and let's get that W.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with Union Pines. You're watching the Zaxby's Coaches Show.
Pentair. Empowering people to move water. Improve water. Enjoy water. So that people can live their best, healthiest lives. Lives with purpose. Lives with enjoyment. Lives that flourish. Lives with hope. Because at Pentair, we're not just about better water. We're about better life. Pentair, bringing water to life, for life.
90 years ago, First Bank was founded. You know First Bank, the one where you are greeted by name, the one dedicated to the community, and the one born in the heart of the Carolinas.
We help our customers to realize their dreams by providing financial solutions and building trusted relationships. Hi, I'm David Fashee, and we are First Bank.
WilkinsonCars.com. Come visit us at our new location in Sanford. With the same great staff and the same great service. Test drive one of our many different vehicles. check out our state-of-the-art service department and collision center, where our team can have you back on the road in no time. We're right across from Walmart at 3335 North Carolina 87 South. Schedule your appointment online at wilkinsoncars.com or call us at 919-842-3322. We guarantee we're the place to be at Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
All right, welcome back to the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Third of the three coaches tonight. The third doesn't indicate anything, man. It doesn't mean you're not our favorite.
That's okay.
Union Pines head coach Jason Trousdale, and you've got a gang of Vikings. I'm trying to remember. It's a thing of Vikings. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
It is.
All right.
It is really
We
cool.
try to get that in.
I like that. That is awesome.
All right. We just had Coach Mike McClure and the Southern Lee Cavaliers on just a moment ago, and same thing to you. I mean, this is a ball game. I'm sure you had circled on your schedule. Given the way the whole conference broke, you looked and said, this is a game. We got to win this one. And the way the wins and losses have fallen this year, this has got to be one that you're looking at and you're like, we got to get this ball game. Am I wrong?
You are not wrong at all. And actually, we talked about it this morning in our film session. We've had a struggle this season. You know, we have a record of what it is, 1-7, and this game this week, we got to play well. We got to take care of the football, and we got to block well. We got to tackle well. You know, maybe get a few turnovers. You know, they're a team that has played a very, like I said earlier, a very tough non-conference schedule, and they do a lot of different things defensively. That we have to prepare for. They do a lot of different things offensively as well, that we got to be ready for. It's our homecoming. Hopefully the kids are excited to play in front of their home crowd. These seniors, they don't have only 2 games left in their high school career, and, not many of them are going to be playing college football. So, take these games really serious and understand that, you're only a play away from not playing the game.
So Coach McClure made a good point about your offense, and you guys have been a team. Your offense has almost been an amoeba, keeps shifting and changing. How much of that has been by design to keep the opponents guessing, or to do what you think would be most effective based on matchups, or 3, sort of trying to find your way to see what your athletes can do the best?
Yeah, I think a lot of it goes back to your personnel. We thought we had things going after the Graham game, but we're kind of, if you want to say the words, handcuffed for what we can do because of our personnel. We lost guys to the suspension, and then other guys to injuries, and we just we're kind of searching, like we talked about last week. We're still not quite there. We're not as physical football teams as that I would expect us to have been, but it's what it is. We're going to try to move the football the best way we can, and whatever that looks like. We've tried to commit to run and veer and run and power. I mean, we run power in every football game, so various formations to do it. It's just we've had a lot of inexperienced guys toting the football, and at the end of the day, our record indicates what we are. But I do think that we look back at the Hope game. We took almost 11 minutes off the clock on the first drive of the game. 18 plays, see that a lot in high school football, and we ended up with a touchdown. And then in the span of the next 15, and I told the guys this on Saturday, they had 21 points on the board, and that's as a result of big plays. We got to limit big plays, and then offensively we don't get a ton of big plays. So if we can get some big plays in this football game, I like our chances.
All right, so if I was a spectator down at homecoming Union Pines this weekend, and I wanted to see the focal point of your offense, give me a couple jerseys numbers and tell me why I would keep my eyes on them.
Well,
you can keep that to under your hat, whichever you prefer.
This guy here, actually Nolan Chappell, he transferred in from Pinecrest at the beginning of the year. I wish we'd have had him in the summer, but we didn't. He came in, and he's been a back that has been, he's gotten about, probably not as many reps as he'd like, but he's gotten opportunities just as the other backs have. He's done really well. He played well. That's why he's the Offense Player of the Week this week. He's a senior. I would love to have him another year, but he is a senior. Nolan Chappell, he scored our one touchdown in the first half, and then Calby Wright scored the touchdown. So Calby Wright will be number 11. He's our wide receiver. He's played in about half of our football games, and he was, supposed to be a really big asset for it, but he hasn't been available. And then our quarterback, Ben Finkelstein, right now, he's our quarterback, and he does a really good job managing the game for us. Defensively, we have Damon Bremer here. Damon started the year off as an inside linebacker. Recently, we moved him down to the defensive line. He's a terror as a defensive lineman. The kid is very good at squeezing, getting down the line of scrimmage. Has a high motor, obviously high IQ as well. I told you before, he's been in here. This is the second time. His GPA is like a 4.3 or whatever it is, but smart football player, can frustrate me as a coach, because sometimes when we're trying to run plays on offense, he's ruining our whole offense, which, kind of gets you a little bit excited. And then Kellen DeVries, our senior captain, just a great kid, great team player. Kellen also wrestles a GPA of 4 point, probably the highest you can get. Just really good kid, comes from a great family. It's unfortunate that, he has to be a senior as well, and, we'll definitely be sad when he does leave. But Kellen plays both offense and defensive line, and, that's the one thing that I'll say is, our record is what it is, but, the depth of our team is what it is, and, I think that has hurt us in games just because it was a result of, these guys, he don't miss it down.
So, well, Coach, I can, you know as well as I do that, in any particular conference, there's only going to be one conference champ. In any state, there's only going to be one champ across state, whatever the classification is.
Right.
The journey through high school football is a lot more important than that, I think.
Sure.
As you move on into the rest of your life, and I know that you and the other coaches we've had on today, and coaches across the state, man, the lessons you're instilling, the values, the work ethic, you guys will appreciate those lessons more as you go through the rest of your lives, I promise you. And regardless of that win-loss record and where you're at right now, that will be the further thing from these guys' minds. And I know that doesn't make it any easier right now. As you look ahead, as we wrap this up, obviously you don't have the compressed cycle that we did this coming into this season as your opening season at Union Pines. What is your stamp going to look like on the program in year two as you sit here today?
One thing that I can say with pretty good certainty is that we have to have total buy-in to the weight room. And I know it started off a little slow because we didn't really actually start till June. We were behind the 8 ball big time with that. So I think the fact that 2 weeks after our season is over, unfortunately for those two young men, but Damon will be back, we're going to get in the weight room. So the kids will have the 2 weeks off, and then they'll have either a weight training class that they'll be in, or it will be after school 5 days a week from 4 to 5:30, and that's the only way that I feel that we can compete in this conference. If we're not strong, we don't have a chance. So we need to get stronger, we need to get faster, and we've got to have the buy-in. The good thing, the really good thing that we do have is Mr. Andy McCormick and Chad Hill. They're behind the program. They've realized that it wasn't the season that we wanted it to be, but they did know that we'd have tough sledding being in this new conference. And go back and think about how a season started with COVID and being and I've said it multiple times, but when you're 7 days into camp and then you're not able to practice together and only have 3 days to prepare for an opponent that's already had 2 jamborees in a game under your belt, you're already against the 8 ball there. So we're going to be a more physical team. We're going to buy in the weight room, and obviously at that point, we're going to be committed to whatever it is by mid-April or May that we're really good at, because we'll have time to work on our installation of both offense and defense.
Well, Coach, I got all the confidence in the world. You're the guy for the job. Gentlemen, anything you'd like to add before we cut out of here?
Just that so far I'm having a great year with the Vikings.
Fantastic. Fantastic. All 3 of you guys, credit to your program. Got a big ball game this weekend. This is a game with this conference alignment. I think that if we were going to pull any 2 teams out of this mix that are evenly matched coming in, it would have been these 2 teams that we would have chosen at the beginning of the year. Big game for both programs, and here's best of luck to you guys. And happy homecoming.
Thank you.
All right, real quickly, the First Bank Players of the Week, if you guys would take your trophies there. And there's a $25 Zaxby's gift card. And then the Lamco Scholar Athlete of the Week. Congratulations. And here's some more hardware. Coach, we will be at Lee County this weekend, so I'll be missing you. But as always, I'll be scoreboard watching.
Appreciate it.
And we'll see you on Monday.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Take care, sir.
This has been the Zaxby's Coaches Show. Thanks to Wilkinson Cadillac and their beautiful showroom for hosting the show as always. Thank you to all of our sponsors. And big game this weekend coming up as Scotland visits Lee County. That automatic 3A bid probably on the line there. We'll be there. Hope you tune in. Hope you come out to the ball game and support. Go down to Union Pines. Go support high school football. Get back out there. Let's create a home field advantage for these guys. Immediately following the show, Richmond County from this past weekend, Saturday morning ball game. It was a great time. Didn't quite go the way we hoped, but we'll see you Friday night, and if not, we'll see you back here Monday. This has been the Zaxby's Coaches Show. We're out.
Lamco Homes, from concept to design, constructed to fit your lifestyle. We use only top quality finishes to make our house your home. Lamco Homes. Our standards are others' options.
Are you ready to sell your home and don't know which realtor to choose? Well, not all realtors are the same. I'm Crystal Copas, and I don't just stick a sign in the yard, throw it in the MLS, and hope to collect a commission. I provide a customized marketing plan that includes professional staging, photography, videography, and drone at no cost to you. Contact me, Crystal Copas, with RE/MAX Real Estate Service, and let's get your house sold. 919-356-5402 or visit me at crystalcopas.com.
Welcome to the Zaxby's Coaches Show, brought to you by First Bank, Wilkinson Chevy Cadillac Buick GMC, and Zaxby's Friends, Family, Flavor, with your host, Chris Delambert, only on the NFHS Network, brought to you by New Image Media.